But it's nice to see that that's starting to happen now in the tuner space, right? With Toyota, Nissan has their heritage parts program. Honda's doing it well. They've been reissuing certain parts for S2000s. Admittedly, none of the parts I need.
None of the parts you need.
But they are making some parts for them. And then they came out, 20th anniversary of the S2000. We're like, oh, they're going to do something really cool. And then they gave us a bumper. Like, okay, the bumper looks cool, but
we're bringing it back.
Except
for the parts you need.
I was hoping for something more than a bumper. I was hoping for like a crankshaft or a block or
I'm still one of those people that get excited when I find some unopened from the 80s or 90s, some new old stock.
You're like, new old stock is sweet.
Old dusty box that's like got rat bite marks in the side of it for mice and vermin, and you're like, I don't know what shelf that got lost in, but you know it fell off a rack and was behind it.
From Olympic City and the home of Pikes Peak, this is the Automotive ADHD Show with Matt West.
Big, loaded, packed show for you today. Oh, man. So Toyota says they are bringing back the 4AGE. This is a monumental piece of news. And if you're sitting there wondering, what's a 4AGE? Don't worry, we are going to fill you in. I also have joining me across the board here, we'll introduce him in just a minute, Jim Miller, just a guy. And then later on in the show, we are going to have Wesley Kagan joining us as well. I'm telling you, this is a packed show. You have tuned into the correct car show. No NPR, none of that. This is the correct car show right here in Colorado Springs, but you can also catch us all across the radio in Southern Colorado. We come out of our flagship station, AM 1460 and FM 101.1, The Answer. But you can hear us all across Southern Colorado, and you can catch us on video, the podcast, on YouTube, and as of today, the live stream. Yeah, we're actually testing out some new equipment with the live stream. So our live stream viewers right now are sort of beta testing it for us. You didn't know you were going to be a beta tester today. You didn't know you subscribed to that. But that's what we're doing, and we're going to do a lot more of these. Wesley Kagan's going to fill you in on some of this stuff, too, coming up in just a minute. But before we get to that, I was debating if I should open the show with this or not. Because, I mean, this is a car show, and, I know my show here has an important role to play. I mean, you're berated with politics and terrible news and the stuff that happens every single week in the 24/7 news cycle. And my job here on this show is to give you a break from that. Yeah, we're on a conservative news talk station, but we're a car show. We are a break from the day to day. And, sure, we do talk about cars. We certainly do. We talk about them. We talk about politics, I should say, as they relate to cars. But that's different. We talk about our freedom to enjoy these fantastic four-wheeled machines. And we talk about how that's under attack every single day. And I feel like it's my duty on this show to protect that freedom however I can. And if that's by spreading awareness, if that's by talking about it, that is part of it. I mean, cars are our slice of enjoyment, our work away from work, as Jim Miller likes to say. And I feel like it's important, though, here to talk about some news you're most certainly aware of, because I shared these same airwaves here on my flagship station, AM 1460 The Answer, with Charlie Kirk. And I think because of that, I never had the chance to shake his hand, but I think because of that, as a guy who works in radio, as a guy who talks for a living, it's important to talk about this for just a second. So bear with me. We're going to get to cars. We're going to get to some really crazy stuff that's going on in the car world, but just humor me for a minute. And, Charlie was supposed to be here in Colorado this weekend, in fact, at an event just up the road from Colorado Springs here in Woodland Park. And in fact, this station, my station, was going to be a part of that event. And we actually coordinated with Charlie's team directly on a number of different things relating to that. And he didn't come to Colorado. He didn't go to that event. And I never had that chance to shake his hand. And for some reason, I took this really personally. I really did. And again, maybe it's because Charlie was a Salem radio guy. He was part of our Salem radio network here. And, he was one of us. So in that sense, I felt a little bit of a connection. Him and I are also really close in age as well. But importantly, I think I took this personally because he was killed for speaking. And here on the radio station, here at the Salem Radio Network, we talk for a living. And that's what we do. And sure, I get it. I'm the weekend car guy. In the big picture, though, there are so many things that are vastly more important in this world than just cars. And, as car guys, we put them very high up on our list, but there's still some stuff that goes above that. So the principle still stands. He was killed for exercising free speech. And whether you agree with Charlie's views or not, let's be united in mourning the loss of a contributor to the notion of free speech. And the ability to express your thoughts on any topic, to debate, to disagree, that's a God-given right. And sure, no one agrees with another person entirely. In fact, the only person who does agree with you 100% is you. And this was a gut punch. So, you know what? If you ignore all the politics, if you ignore the fact that Charlie was a prominent public speaker, activist, talk radio host, podcaster, famous in every way, if you ignore all of that, he was still a father. And at the end of the day, he went home to his wife and his 2 kids. And just like we all do. And he's not going to be there anymore. There's a grieving widow, and there's a couple of children who are never going to know their dad. So anyway, so just, keep this in mind. I don't want to start the show on a heavy note, but this was weighing heavily on my heart, as someone, close to the radio business and, who really, looked at everything going on. And, we can joke about how Jim Miller can't remember how many cars he has, or, my latest shenanigans with purchasing ill-advised cars, or Wesley Kagan's work on some of his cars. We could talk about all that. We can joke about all that, but that's all about possible because we live in a country that recognizes the importance of speech. So let's just keep that in mind. But anyway, I felt like that was something really important to say. So Jim Miller, just a guy, joining me across the board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, just exercise all your rights, freedoms, and liberties. That's all I'm really going to say with any of it. That's not much more to say than that. Whether you agree or disagree with Charlie Kirk, it doesn't matter. He liked his freedom. It's not a way I'd want to go out. And that was a very cowardly exercise by a cowardly person. This should never be named again. I do feel bad, and condolences to his wife and his children especially. Because even if we disagree, remember 100% of the time we all want it better. So we actually all agree all the time with everything. And that's the part to always remember. And remember your certain inalienable rights. Exercise them. Live on your feet, not on your knees. He'll be remembered for that part. The man never had to have a microphone or a stage or open up for anybody else to speak. He did, and that speaks volumes about it, whether you agree or disagree. Because if it really comes down to morals, values, ethics, sense of community, or family, you probably agree with the guy more so than you think. He took care of his family. You take care of your family. So, condolences to his children especially, and his wife. Feel really, really bad for those, for his children, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And, there's something you always say that I think is important, which is, if you want it better, be better.
Always. Always. It's up to you. It always is. So I hope on the other end of it, it doesn't scare people from speaking openly and exercising their freedom of speech. I hope it actually opens it up to where more people want to. So. Yeah,
absolutely. So, and it's been a little bit since it happened, obviously, but my show's on the weekend. It's not during the week, and wanted to get that, talk about it. I'm sure, if you're listening on the radio, you may be following along with this. I'm sure on the podcast, I've got people who aren't into the politics of this, who probably don't agree with my politics, and maybe we lost some of them there when we talked about it, but that's okay, because it was important to say. So, but you know what? Let's pivot from there. Let's turn the show onto a little bit of a brighter note. Let's talk some cars. The cars are our break from the craziness of the political world, from the craziness of all the news out there, and
work away from work.
The work away from work. The stress away from stress too. Ain't that true?
Yeah, you're throwing your own tools around and your own parts. You're like, ah.
Or my favorite's when you lose a tool, you can't find it, you buy another one, and then the original shows up.
Right when you purchase it, too. Yep. Every time you purchase it, then you're like, there it is.
Yep. But Jim, I wanted to throw this out here. We're going to go to a break here soon, but we'll hit this on the other side. The Mustang GTD, the new crazy top-end bonkers Mustang, is so wide, they say that it needs safety lights, like a Ford Raptor does, like a commercial truck. But there's
wide.
There's a workaround there. We're going to get to all of that. We're going to get to your car sounds and more. Thanks for joining us right here on this edition of Automotive ADHD.
Some call him the Toyota God. Others say he ran for mayor.
Introduce you to the candidates running for mayor. So today it's Jim Miller.
One of your priorities that you've laid out is fixing the roads in Colorado Springs.
Jim Miller.
Mr. Miller, you also have 30 seconds.
That was Jim Miller, just a guy.
All we know is he's just a guy with more cars than friends. Jim Miller is on Automotive ADHD.
Yes, he is. Jim Miller, do you think you're my only regular guest who has his own intro? And do you think that's going to make Wesley Kagan jealous?
I don't know about jealous. Maybe he wants one too. I'm sure he can make his own. I mean, he's pretty savvy with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
I like Wesley. It's not like a jab at Wesley. What are you doing, trying to pit us against each other? You're like, oh, hey, Jim, you're finally healed up after surgeries. You want to fight Wesley?
Oh, man.
It's like the Mad Max thing. You're like, there's cars in Mad Max. We're going to the what was that? What was the dome one? I don't remember.
Oh.
The third one.
Oh, you're putting me
Turner.
on. Yeah, you're putting me on the spot. I don't remember.
I keep wanting to say Biodome, but that's an entirely different movie.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hey, thanks for joining us here on the Automotive ADHD show. And Jim, I was talking about this before the break. Mustang GTD. Are you familiar with the GTD?
I am not. I don't. What's the D stand for?
I could tell you one thing. I think it stands for. No, the GTD is a. The GTD is what it stands for is I'm not sure, but it is the craziest.
What it stands for is I'm not sure. All right.
Yeah. It is the super crazy, nutty Nürburgring spec Mustang. So it's a wide body. It's got crazy cantilever suspension. It's not a normal Mustang, and it costs many hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's very wide. That's the key point here. It's very wide.
How wide is this thing?
Massive. So wide, in fact, that it would require, under normal regulations, it would require it to have those little running lights in the front that you see on commercial trucks. And you'll notice how the Ford Raptor, for example, it's got those little three little lights in the grill. Yeah. The Ram TRX, same thing. They look cool, but they are really there to be for wide vehicles. It's because of the federal regulation.
Burley Farley had a TRX. I got to drive that thing a couple times. It's all right.
I bet. I haven't driven a TRX, but I've driven a Hellcat before. It's same drivetrain, same engine.
Snow, actually. On the highway, yeah. But anyways, back to our Mustang thing you're talking about.
Yeah. This is Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard 108. And it states that larger vehicles, which are usually trucks, SUVs, and trailers, that are 80 inches or wider require clearance lamps on the center of the vehicle. And the idea is to make them more visible, which is crazy because they're huge vehicles. You'd think they're already pretty visible.
You think bigger stuff, you could see it better.
Yeah.
Even if you wear glasses. You know, be like, I could see it. It's larger.
So the GTD is 75 inches wide, which is significant for a car. That for an automobile, for like a two-door coupe, that is pretty darn wide.
And how wide's the regular Mustang?
Sorry.
Question.
No. Sorry. I was looking at my numbers wrong here. Sorry. The Mustang GTD is 81.8. A regular Mustang is 75. So let me clarify that.
6 more inches for those of you out there that didn't math it like I mathed it in my head.
There you go. And here's the thing, though. You might be saying, well, last time I saw a GTD cruising down the road. Oh, wait, you haven't seen one cruising down the road. No, you're not seeing those on the roads much yet, but you do see them at the Nürburgring. This is one of those vehicles that manufacturers have designed just to be a Nürburgring car, basically. I mean, yeah, they're going to sell it, but it's just so they can have their bragging rights at the podium is really what it is. And apparently, though, there's an interesting loophole here with the regulations when it comes to dual-purpose vehicles. And basically, this breaks down to if you could use it for commercial purposes, it's got to have the light on it, the three little lights. But if you don't, and it's 81, 80 inch,
bigger than 80 inches
or wider. Okay. Yep. You would normally need it, but this is interesting because they don't consider that you can actually use the Mustang for commercial purposes. Like it's not a truck, right?
Yeah, you're not going to haul loads in it. You're not going to be delivering on. Well, maybe you'd Uber Eats something, but I don't know. Okay.
See, this poses an interesting question though, because that means that this car could fall out of like a commercial use category. So you could actually use it for commercial use, though.
You're not towing with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You could register. You could buy one for your business, company car.
Hoop in the loop, man.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a workaround here.
Go hold the loop.
Yeah.
Go to it.
Yeah, exactly. And I would like to imagine that this little loophole here would allow people to purchase these and use them for company use, but not actually have to declare it as such. And that could be fascinating because, I mean, we could have like Mustang GTDs. What's it got? Like 1,000 horsepower? That'll tow a load.
Yeah.
Tow a car hauler? Probably not.
No, I don't think it could tow very good.
So yeah, having said that, I want to see,
I mean, it's got the horsepower and the torque, but I just don't think it's set up to where it would tow. It just wouldn't work.
Trailer burnouts.
That's it.
Trailer burnouts.
Just hook it to a trailer to do burnouts for no other reason.
I want one of these guys.
There for? So, don't worry about it.
You know, to get one of these GTDs, you got to be like a special Ford buyer. You got to be invited to buy it. It's like
is that like the GT40s and all that stuff?
Same idea. Same idea.
List, don't sell it. Big list of stuff. You can't sell it once you buy it without permissions and
exactly
X amount of years. Our friend John Cena got in trouble for that, didn't he?
He
for
did.
His GT40, I think. But
he did indeed. And
so he's probably not in the list to buy one, is he? They probably didn't invite him this time.
Probably not, but we know that John Cena
drives Hondas.
He loves Hondas. He loves his Civic Type Rs. He's a big Honda guy. He's got a YJ Jeep Wrangler, I believe.
Mr. Peacemaker himself.
Hey, there we go. So I don't know if this little loophole in this regulation, A, makes a ton of sense because it doesn't. B, means that you should purchase one of these for commercial use. I would love to see one of the like crazy YouTubers who has $1 bajillion who's on the list for one of these. Which, by the way, is not yours truly. That's for sure. I would like to see one of them do something like this. I mean, you know, you get these people who have this special access to these cars that us normal peasants aren't allowed to buy, apparently. And it makes me I want to see someone do something with it like that. Tow with it. You ever seen that video? Haul with it.
You ever seen the video of the fifth wheel tower they made for like cars so it could like spin around and stuff? They put the fifth wheel on top and it's like attached to the roof.
Yes.
Something like that I think would be kind of neat to see for GTD, and you're like, is that a fifth wheel toy hauler? Is he towing another car? Why? And it's just on the roof doing the circle.
If you haven't seen that, we might have to link it on the Facebook page because you're probably not imagining what exactly that is, but it's old, probably from like the 60s.
I think it's from the 60s.
Yeah.
I think the dude is driving like a Volkswagen Beetle and he's towing a
It is a Beetle.
Camper.
Yes.
And it works.
I've seen that.
It works. You're all, I didn't think that would work, but it is working.
The fifth wheel goes up to the roof and the roof has like a little hoop around it. And then you can like 180 the car inside the fifth wheel almost like, right? It's bizarre.
This is the new challenge for all like exotics or like hypercars and stuff is the fifth wheel attachment and take your tow haul with you.
I love it. I love it. So, Jim Miller, Ford Mustang GTD. Would you buy one?
No, we already know I don't like domestics that much. I don't see any need or use for it. Plus, we already know I have enough enough cars and trucks and vehicles. I have enough stuff. You don't need to be trying to have me buy anything else.
Well, and we still need.
I don't think so. Would I drive it? Would I check it out? Would I test run it? Would I want to do a run on the Nürburgring with it? Yes. And if it's as fast as they're saying, then I'd probably want to be wearing a helmet too, honestly. I'd probably want another adult with me. Just be like, what are you doing?
I need an adult in the car with me.
I need an adult with me because I don't think I need to be supervised with this.
$325,000. $325,000. That's
no. You could that's you're getting into house money on vehicles. I honestly personally don't ever think house money on anything that's just transport moving around is worth it in my personal opinion.
Well, remember you can. What do they say? You can race a car, right?
But you can't race.
Can't race a house.
Yeah, and you can sleep in your car,
and you can
sleep in a house, but you can't drive a house.
Exactly.
So
So choose wisely. Choose wisely. You know, there's other automotive shows out there that actually give their listeners like legitimate consumer advice. Like, I want to buy a Toyota Highlander, and they talk about like the seats and how easy they are to fold down. No, remember, in this show, official advice is you can race a car, but not a house.
Yeah, and you can sleep in your car and sleep in a house. So maybe just get a car.
I would do the car. Also,
that is popular nowadays. People just camping out in their car. They're like, I work all the time. I only need to sleep for a couple hours and go back to work. So I want to live in my vehicle.
You know what's handy? If you have a race car with a roll cage, that's perfect to mount like a rooftop overlanding tent on. That's load bearing. You mount the tent onto that. It'll hold the weight of it. It's no problem.
You and your urban camper friends.
Yeah. Van life.
Yeah, urban campers.
Oh, man. More like
urban vehicle campers.
Oh, man. Yeah. Now, hey, we are coming up here on a break here in a couple minutes, and we're going to have Wesley Kagan joining us, in theory, if the technology works. Again, when you tuned into this show, you didn't know you were going to be a beta tester for this. You didn't know that you signed up for this, but you did, in fact. It was actually in the fine print. You didn't read it at the top of the show. But we're going to have Wesley Kagan joining us here shortly, and he's got a interesting project. If you tuned into my show last week, you would be familiar with this project. If you are a subscriber of Wesley Kagan's, you should also be familiar with it. If you're not, first thing you do is go subscribe to my show on YouTube, not Wesley's. Subscribe to mine first, then Wesley's, in that order. That you have to do it that way.
What?
And then go check out what Wesley's doing, because he has the world's most expensive car from 1993, and he's about to do what all the internet trolls told him he should do. He actually listened to them.
Okay. Has something to do with something with a 12 in it too, right? Am I correct?
Maybe not. Well, not the engine in this case.
Oh.
The internet trolls said, Wesley, you need to LS swap it. He's like, no, it's a Bentley. It's a nice car. It's smooth. And they go, oh, you need to LS swap it. Just throw it out. And that's what the internet trolls do. Any comment section on YouTube. Even like, I've had comments like this, whoa, why'd you K-swap your Honda? Just LS swap it. Just LS swap it. So he finally caved. He's a shill. He was a shill to the internet trolls. They told him
he's
to
a
LS.
Shill. What?
They're not paying him anything, but okay. Anyway, so he is going to tell us about his LS swap, but importantly, his marathon live stream of LS swapping this car. Okay, nothing here can go wrong. So you're listening to the Automotive ADHD show. I'm your host, Matt West. Sitting across the table from me, Jim Miller, just a guy. We're going to take a break for network news, and after that, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Under the hood and behind the mic, Matt West is on Automotive ADHD.
And not just me today. I've got Jim Miller, just a guy, joining me across the board. We have Wesley Kagan joining us in mere moments. But before we do that, I do have to tell you about one of our faithful sponsors. If you are like me, you may have actually had a car stolen in your life. And I had my beloved AMC Hornet, and I can hear people laughing who knew that car. But I had a beloved AMC Hornet, 1977. It got stolen. It was so crusty and terrible, the thieves actually didn't want it, so I got it back. They just ditched it. But That doesn't always happen. And especially if your car is actually nice, if it's decent, that's not going to happen. So you need to get a GPS tracker in your car. Jim Miller, you could use a lot of these. You need a lot of these. SpyTech, by the way, they make these amazing little GPS trackers. They use both cell signal and GPS redundantly. And you're going to say, just put an AirTag in the car. It'll be fine. AirTags are a terrible idea. I did a whole segment on this show talking about ways to track your car. And
are they giving us a deal if we buy some from
they
them
are.
through you?
Yes,
what
they
is that
are.
deal, Mr. Matt West?
If you use my promo code AutoADHD15, get 15% off anything on their website, spytech.com. And right now, they're doing a deal where you get 35% off an annual subscription. And the cool thing is my promo code stacks with that. So if you buy the trackers, then you get the 35% off the annual subscription. Then the 15% stacks on that annual subscription. It's cool.
35 plus 15 is 50% off for all you big math people out there.
For those of you that did not go to public school, you knew that already. So
I went to public school and I had to count it with my hands. I just wanted to share for the rest of us finger counters out there.
Oh, man. But anyway, spytech.com. Again, that promo code is AutoADHD15. Get your discount. Check that out. And Jim Miller, I was just about to go to Wesley Kagan. It also helps when I switch the camera so people can see your beautiful face for radio.
That's too good for radio.
Yeah. And I believe we lost Wesley Kagan here. He was here, and I think I scared him off with my sponsorship read. Yeah. So he's going to reconnect here in just a minute, and let's see if we've got him. Here we go. Wesley Kagan. Wesley Kagan, are you with us? Ground control to Wesley Kagan.
I actually am just in the nick of time, I believe.
Just in the nick of time. Joining us from the Wesley Kagan Speed Shop Global Headquarters, presumably.
Yeah, the sunny shores of Cabo San Lucas, also definitely not a suburb of Phoenix, Arizona. Yep.
Definitely not. Roger that. Loud and clear. Wesley, before the break in that last segment, we were talking about how you sold out to the internet trolls in the comments who go, just LS swap it. And you're LS swapping the world's most expensive car, asterisk from
Yes, I am.
1993. Yeah.
Yeah. Production car in 1993, because there's a bunch of people who remind me that the McLaren F1 exists as well.
And are they hurt? I imagine their feelings are hurt when you tell them that the McLaren F1's not a production car, really. It's not really a real production car.
Yeah, anyways.
All right. So, Wesley, enlighten me. I'm kind of inside on this actually a little bit, but Jim Miller needs to get up to speed. What's the plan for the car, for one? And what are we doing a week from today and tomorrow?
So what car is this? The Bentley?
This is a 1993 Bentley Continental, not GT, Continental R. So the old pre-Volkswagen buyout one. And currently it has a 6.75 liter V8, and it is getting, with an automatic transmission with a GM 4L80E, and it is getting a manual transmission with a 6.0 LS with some aluminum heads and a Phytech EFI setup and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I'm hoping for 550 horsepower in a car that weighs almost 6,000 pounds. So it might actually move at a decent speed now.
I was about to ask you, I was like, isn't that a pretty heavy car? It's got some girth to it. It's got some girth, to say the least.
Yes, it does. 3 tons of it. And I'm hoping to make it move slightly faster than it did with its factory. Admittedly, for the mid-90s, pretty impressive, 400 and some odd horsepower.
Nice.
So we're adding quite a bit, and we're adding a lot of torque. So that's my goal.
Get 3 tons of fun moving more fun, huh?
Exactly. I have already done coilovers and a few things to get ready for it. But yeah, live on the air, not to tape, live on the air, we are going to be taking the old engine out and putting it into the car, hopefully, and everything after that will go super simple, like it always
Don't
does.
say that.
And everything always works
You're
out.
jinxing everything. Don't say that. Just say it's going to go real terrible, and everything's going to go wrong, and it'll go better. That's the rule of thumb.
Exactly. Either
you just go, it's going to be terrible to do. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it, and that'll make it happen better. Oh man!
Either tune into a train wreck or something going flawlessly. Neither one.
I don't think it going flawlessly is actually a realistic option in this case.
You guys want to see a Bentley crash without it driving? Watch me now, Wesley Kagan live. You're like, nice.
Controlled flight into terrain.
I don't think my brakes will be done in time, so this is actually sort of a real possibility. Yeah.
We were actually saying, I called you before the show. You said, yeah, I'm not sure if it will stop when we finish it. And I did. I made the point. I made the point that run and drive doesn't actually implicitly imply stopping necessarily.
Not one statement in the run and drive says anything about stopping anywhere. So,
and remember,
e-brakes and sand, you're fine. Go with it. Do it.
Remember,
and there are.
Go ahead.
There are so many things around you, just generally, to stop you. So, like, what's the actual problem?
Drive in the sand.
You know,
e-brake and sand.
You know, a wise man, a very, very wise man, once said, how did he put it? Yeah, it's not the speed that gets you. It's suddenly stopping. That's what gets you.
So with that being the theory, you're going to live forever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Wesley, we didn't. I promise we didn't just call you to actually just berate you about your car on my radio show.
Sounds like we're being mean, but really we're encouraging this, actually. We want to see this and encourage it. It just sounds mean because we all know each other.
Trust me, this is actually an act of endearment. It is. But okay, so
yeah,
fill us in on the plans for the live stream. Fill us in on this. How are people going to watch it? What is going to? Well, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but what's the game plan?
So the game plan is I turn on the live stream, and then things probably happen. I think, hopefully. Generally, I think the fun part will be that we really do have a pretty good plan for the first, hour and a half. After that, I think, the fact of it not going smoothly will probably be a very real possibility. So I think that once we get the old engine out of there, we get the new engine sitting in there, and all of the little things that we forget when we're working on projects like this, I think will come in and rear its ugly head at that point. And I'm seriously hoping that it's just not 8 solid hours of us driving to AutoZone back and forth, but you never know. It might be.
And and that's very possible. And I mean, hey, we've taken the show on the road before, like literally on the road. Like while I was driving, I did my radio show. So I mean, if we have to do it from an AutoZone, we could do it through an O'Reilly's too. I mean,
it's Riley's, AutoZone trips.
I'm not partial to any of them. So i.e. they don't sponsor me. So
no. Hold on. I was gonna say we are as soon as if they give us money, we definitely are.
Definitely. Wesley Kagan, follow him on YouTube at Wesley Kagan. Join us for the live stream Sunday, September 21st. We're out of time, but we're going to come back after the break. You're listening to Automotive ADHD. Don't go anywhere. Hang with us through the break. Right here.
Hello, I'm John Dykstra. When I was asked to provide a unique environment for the introduction of Nissan's unique new car, the Skyline, I got out my special effects atlas and decided on a planet that not only looked different, but has some very unusual inhabitants, the space fish. I hope you'll agree that our film is extraordinary. But remember, it's all fantasy. Only the very extraordinary new Skyline is real. We are the new Skyline.
超感覚スカイライン誕生。
Jim Miller, whatever they are, I don't know what's happening in Japan. Maybe it's all the salt water. Maybe the fish finally has gone to their brains. By the way, you're listening to the Automotive ADHD show. Forgot to mention that. I'm your host, Matt West. Joining me across the board is Jim Miller. Jim, we've done this thing lately. I think ever since we talked about car ads with Jag back probably like 9 months ago.
The most jagged up thing I've ever seen.
More and more car ads have just found their way into my show, and what happened there? What was that?
I don't know. It wasn't even the best Skyline. It was like a GTS 4-door. Like, what is this? And then it's just space with some, what do you say? Space fish?
Space fish. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for explaining what that was. I thought it was like a light bulb floating.
I love how he says, he looks at the camera. We are Skyline. We are Skyline.
He's by himself. We are doing these things.
Have the space fish infested his brain, or was that the result of some Japanese people writing some English words and having him read them?
Bad sushi.
I'd like to think it's actually the former. Probably it's probably the space fish. That's my best guess. So
I love those guys. Space fish are my favorite fish. High in protein. How much protein's in a space fish?
Oh man, that's does that make you want to buy a Skyline?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, there we go.
I thought the point of ads is to make you be like, I want to purchase this product, whatever it is. I would love to drive that after the ad. With that, I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. I feel like I have a headache. I think I'm dumber after watching that.
I can assure you, after my brief stint in Japan, television is like that in Japan. They're so reserved, they're so polite, they're so cultured. And then their television is just where they dump everything. Like they get it all out on TV. I don't know.
There was a Simpsons about that where Homer finds a box and it's got a bunch of Japanese writing and it looks like his face. And really it was just a fish company and a light bulb company came together to make a bigger company and it just happened to look like him. I think it was for like dish soap or detergent or something.
Speaking of our friends in Japan, now they didn't market this with the space fish. That was Nissan's play. So now whenever someone says, yeah, I like my Skyline, of space fish, what? Anyway, Toyota, Jim, I figured you would want to talk about this.
Okay, what do we got
Toyota, this, and then we might run out of time. I might have to ask you about your Fox Mustang. Toyota, this comes by way of their, if you weren't in the live stream, you're missing out on that. So that's why you got to tune in on the live streams of these too. We have fun during the breaks. This comes by way of the official Toyota Gazoo Racing Facebook page. Toyota Gazoo Racing plans to reproduce engine parts for Corolla, Levin, Sprinter, Trueno, AE86, cylinder head, and sub-block assemblies to be reissued as part of the GR Heritage Parts Project. Jim, as somebody who is probably the reason no one else can buy the 4AGEs because you're hoarding them, what do you think of this?
I am a hoarder. You are correct. Definitely a hoarder. It's like, where can you walk? And you're like, don't worry about the maze. Enjoy the labyrinth. What do I think about this?
Yeah, they're bringing back the 4AGE. They're going to start selling them again for
the
our
whole thing?
Crusty. Yeah, well, they said, here we go. Again, they said cylinder head subassembly and cylinder block subassembly. Now, this is probably coming through a little bit of Google Translate here from Japan. And they're going to exhibit these at
top end and bottom end we can get now solids.
That's what I'm interpreting from this.
Hey, that's good. That's fine. It's good to have stuff to be accessible. It keeps old stuff alive. I think this is better and more optimal than the old Alibaba stuff.
Well, you could buy this and then buy the Alibaba shell and chassis
with
still.
With 9 other friends.
With 9 other friends. I haven't actually seen anyone do it yet.
No, I haven't either. I was kind of poking around and looking and going because I was like...
one of these YouTubers has got to do it.
Hello, wealthier friends. Is anybody buying this,
if Wesley
Alibaba stuff?
If Wesley Kagan was more like a Toyota guy than like a Bentley and Rolls-Royce kind of guy, maybe he would do it. But... they do say here, elaborating on this, cylinder head subassembly features combustion chambers with additional machining. Reduces differences in individual engines, blah, blah, blah. Slight variances in compression ratio. Intake ports undergo a coating process to reduce irregularities. Okay, basically, it's a nice block. You get a nice head, you get a nice block.
But they're building it with modern technology.
But they
or
are.
as the Italians call it, Technoluigi. Technoluigi. And you're like, yeah, okay, Mario, calm down here. That's Italian stuff, and this is Japanese stuff we're talking about. But still, but they're using modern processes versus 80s processes. So it might be a better quality than the old 80s stuff, possibly. I'm saying possibly because we already know there has been some machining problems at Toyota in the last few years with these new plants and stuff. So I'm hoping there's none of that.
Yeah.
But we get to build it, so it's just coming. It sounds like it's coming bare top and bare bottoms.
And they're saying scheduled.
And that sounds inappropriate saying it out loud on the radio. It's just the top end and bottom end of a block. So
there you go.
Of an engine.
Scheduled to launch around May 2026. So
okay. All right. So
not that far out. Now, I'm curious because they don't say on here, are they doing, are these earlier blocks? Because, there's rib differences between the early blocks and the later blocks.
All the different tops, blues,
blacks,
red top,
blue top, black top.
Tops, yes.
One's I can't remember. My 4A knowledge is failing me. Is it 7 rib?
Small port, big port.
Something like that.
All that.
They're not saying that. This probably, with the press picture they put out, it looks like the cylinder head, at least in their press picture, definitely looks like a 16-valve cylinder head.
Well, you have the picture. I don't have it.
I know.
I'm
keeping the picture
You're
to
fine.
myself. That's what it looks like. Block-wise, all the blocks are going to work with your different cylinder heads, so I'm not too worried about that. But I think, looking at the big picture of this, that is...
The bottom end's all pants. The top's just different shirts. Just pick it out.
Yeah. The big picture of this, though, is it's very cool that manufacturers are supporting these cars that are becoming new classics, right? Because we've got guys, I guarantee we got guys on the radio right now who say, all right, a classic to me is a 60-something GTO, right?
Yeah. Then others that are going in
guys
85.
Guys in my range, we're looking back at the 80s stuff.
And 90s stuff, too, honestly, yeah.
And we're finding that, a lot of parts for these have been discontinued. People weren't interested in them for years, and now they have a huge surge in interest and popularity. And Toyota, much like, GM, you can buy a small block Chevy for anything still from GM, right? They have classic parts for their older cars. They've been doing that for decades.
Well, and if they ain't got it, Jags or Summit will.
Oh, yeah.
Or even like old Vato Zone or oh no, it's Riley's or any of these places, just local parts stores. You'll be like, I need to get this. And they're like, yeah, cool, grab it.
Yeah. And, but it's nice to see that that's starting to happen now in the tuner space, right? With Toyota, Nissan has their heritage parts program. Honda's doing it well. They've been reissuing certain parts for S2000s. Admittedly, none of the parts I need.
None of the parts you need.
But they are making some parts for them. And then they came out 20th anniversary of the S2000. We're like, oh, they're going to do something really cool. And then they gave us a bumper. Like, okay, the bumper looks cool, but
we're bringing it back.
I was hoping
except for the parts you need.
I was hoping for something more than a bumper. I was hoping for like a crankshaft or a block or
I'm still one of those people that get excited when I find some unopened from the 80s or 90s, some new old stock. You're like,
new old stock is sweet.
Old dusty box that's like got rat bite marks in the side of it for mice and vermin. And you're like, I don't know what shelf that got lost in, but it fell off a rack and was behind it. And then someone's like, oh, I better put that in the inventory so we can sell it after they found it 20 years later.
Oh, man. Well, hey, if let us know, brand new 4A GE, if you are into Toyotas, if you're into old stuff, how does this make you feel? You wanna go buy an Alibaba 86 with Jim and I? We'll split it. We'll split it because
just friends.
It's just friends. My 86 isn't running still. I got to wire up the beam swap now. So anyway, you've been listening to the Automotive ADHD show. My guest, Jim Miller, just a guy. We'll catch you next week, same time, same place.